Mr. Scarf. That was very touching. I'm glad you didn't finish that poem. So, some people said that I should talk about world peace tonight. Others said that I should start with a joke. So there you go, I just did both. You know, it was just over a month ago that I was narrating a certain school event that also happened to feature fawning ladies and ridiculous costumes. And now here I am again, narrating, only this time it's the end. I would say that it's been a wild ride, but it really hasn't been. Everything's been calm and stable and peaceful, just the way Mr. David Ladner likes it. Woe betide anybody who tries to disturb his aura of tranquility. Like I remember one time this year, 3 guys were hosting Gaga ball tournaments in the gym, in the locker rooms, in between classes. And it was Robert, obviously. But it was Michael, obviously. And it was somebody else, but I don't want to name any names. Anyways, 3 of us were hosting these Gaga ball tournaments. And, well, long story short, we were almost excommunicated from doctrine class. Speaking of Old Testament ceremonial law, how about that new dress code? It's like the old one wasn't exactly working out, so let's just completely scrap it and wear the exact opposite clothing. Probably shouldn't be laughing at that unless you're graduating tonight. Anyways, here at Trinity, we are really blessed to have close relationships with teachers. In fact, as some would say, the students and teachers are, quote, tighter than Paul Kim's pants. So, I guess I'm at the part where I have to say some nice things about you guys. All right, I'll start from shortest to tallest. Mrs. Diane Welker. Mrs. Diane Welker, I wrote you a love poem tonight. It's called Mrs. Diane Welker.
He's learned so much from me.
Your donut days are quite nutritious. Every word you speak is so delicious. You're never ever malicious, except to the 7th graders, but they deserve it. I wish you the very best of wishes. Thank you.
Bravo.
Mrs. Welker, we seniors, we understand how lucky we are to have had pulled you out of retirement for what, like the 3rd time?
Fourth.
Yeah, 4th time. And yeah, we're just so lucky. And your expertise and your passion for teaching never cease to amaze me. And although you taught us a lot of vocab, I still don't have the words to say how grateful we are. Mrs. Donna McKenna, you know everything there is to know about everything. And unfortunately, Mr. Ladner is aware of this fact, so you have to teach every subject. Should you ever, God forbid, decide to retire, I believe that the school's tuition would probably triple just to cover the cost of all the teachers it would take to replace you. Also, I know I speak for all the seniors here when I say, thank you for the greatest field trip ever. We're not going to be forgetting Europe anytime soon. It was awesome. So thank you. Mrs. Dale Gibson. Mrs. Dale Gibson. I sat out in that hallway every single study hall of every single day. And it would have been a lonely, meager existence if not for you. Your cheerful salutations and lovely peals of laughter would just reverberate through the hallways, and it would brighten everybody's day. Not only are you super nice and friendly, but you're also a fighter. Miss Gibson, you had a lot of fluid in your leg, but you never let that bring you down. Thank you for what you bring to this school. Mr. Damon Scarf. I want to take a moment here and commemorate the death of West Wing Wednesday last year. For those of you who don't know, we used to watch a show in econ called West Wing. every Wednesday. And unfortunately, last year's valedictorian, Charity Ruth Bray, revealed this to Mr. Latner at her graduation. So she killed it for the rest of us. I'm guessing, Mr. Scarf, that I probably shouldn't mention Family Guy Friday. No, I'm just kidding. That was in doctrine class. Mr. Scarf, you once joked that I only made you my star teacher just to get permission to take Katie to prom. I want you to know that you had it backwards. I wasn't using you to get to Katie. I was using Katie to get to you. You're pretty much my best teacher friend forever, and I already used your class, so thank you. Last but not least, Mr. David Ladder. I have something to confess. I helped them post it in your office. And I'm telling you this for two reasons. One, because I'm graduating tonight, and hopefully I still am. And two, because I heard you liked it. You're welcome, I guess. Mr. Ladner, it kind of took me a while, but I now realize just how cool you really are. You're a great headmaster, and I really hope you stay at the school for a long time. But Robert says you give the best hugs, so if it's all right with you, we can form a line after this. Believe it or not, teachers here aren't the only people that I have to thank tonight. Mom, Dad, thank you for all you've done. For all the time and money and energy and love that you've put into me so far. And for me to just turn around and throw it all away in a philosophy major is unbelievable. We never really had any problems between us, which that's incredible. And kind of unfortunate because, like you said, Mom, this would be easier if we hated each other. You guys taught me to do my best, and perhaps more importantly, you gave me the freedom to do so, and I really appreciate that. You know, they often say I couldn't have done it without you, but as for me, I couldn't have been here without you. So, thank you. Michael, David, Maria, Isu. It's been great. It's been great sleeping in a room with 3 other boys. All hot and sticky and the air heavy with the smell of pillow pile and kimchi. It's been really great. Isu, you're like my little brother. Wish I could find you. There he is. Okay. You're like my little brother, and you better come back next year. David, you are my little brother. And I suspect that you're smarter than the rest of us combined. And I'm sorry I didn't play Walking Dead Risk with you as much as I probably should have, as much as you would have liked me to. I'm going to make that up to you this summer. Maria, every day you are becoming more and more beautiful and smart and creative like me. And it's not fair that you got Mom's right brain and Dad's left brain. I'm not jealous of you for that. Michael, one of my favorite things, one of my favorite memories is sitting with you in choir and just cracking jokes every period. And it was Miss Lucy Ann's choir, if you'll believe it. And you know, I was practicing this speech and I just started tearing up at that part the other night, and then I realized it was because I was on antihistamine. Anyways, I know I'm going to be thinking about you all a lot while I'm up in Athens, and I'm going to make sure to come back and visit every day. Oh, hey, seniors. Didn't see you there. You guys come here often? How about your whole lives? I've been with you all for 6 years now. Compared to some of you, that basically makes me a complete stranger. Y'all have been here your whole lives, but nevertheless, to me, you guys are like my family. You all mean so much to me. Never gonna forget any of you. And when I think about the future, I know that we're all gonna become rich and famous someday. We're all gonna become musicians and doctors and the first female presidents. But we are all gonna do great things, I know that. And if there's anything I've learned from my time at Trinity, it's that this has already been predestined to happen. Robert Willoughby, will you please stand up? There he is, there he is. All right. So, last night, Robert and I stayed up really late writing a fable for you all. We both thought it would be fitting to conclude with this. Here it is. It's called The Parable of the Young Wolf Cub. There once was a young wolf cub named James. At the beginning of the school year, James was pretty happy, but something happened and he suddenly felt isolated. He felt like a lone wolf. But then James met his brother Michael, and they got along great. Really, they laughed and they cried and they fought together. And then there were two in the wolf pack. Through Michael, James met Robert the wolf cub. Now, Robert was wild and crazy and had foam dripping from his mouth. So, naturally, the three had a lot of fun together. They often went out and ate dog food, aka Taco Bell. And then there were three in the wolf pack, and it was good. Then, soon after that, James looked around himself and he saw that Joseph Vanderpool, the wolf cub, had been with him all along. And they rejoiced because there were four in the wolf pack. Now there was also love in the wolf pack, joy in the wolf pack, peace, forbearance in the wolf pack, and a lack of self-control. And then James realized that it was not just the four of them in the wolf pack, but also all of his friends and all of his classmates, and his parents and his siblings and his teachers. They were all in the wolf pack together. And it was very good. But one day something terrible happened. James and Joseph grew up. They left Michael and Robert and all the other juniors behind. Meanwhile, his classmates, they grew up too, and they all split up and went their own separate ways. Darkness fell across the land. And finally, as an ominous coincidence, Taco Bell began serving breakfast. And this, dear friends, is the end of my parable, but it is only the beginning of our story. Thank you.